Yeah, I think that should be better. Maybe move this up here. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started while people are pouring in. But if you have questions, just drop them in the live chat and I will pause periodically and answer your questions. So, on today's agenda for the pre-market prep, as always, a couple of segments. I'll recap any trades that I had the prior day, which I had a couple Tesla and AMD, so I'll go over that. And then we'll talk about scheduled red and orange folder news that could negatively or positively impact the market. And then I'll also go over Tesla specific news because obviously Tesla is my number one target. And if Tesla doesn't have any setups presented today, then I'll obviously take advantage of any second and third options like the tech stocks or semiconductors like AMD, NVIDIA, and so forth. And then lastly, I'll go over what I'm expecting coming into the market today. So let's see, a couple of things. Tesla so far, yesterday we closed at 322 and change. Uh, Man, it was a it was a crazy day for Tesla. And in the pre-market right now, we're sitting at 321.46, 321.46, down 0.25% so far. Now, there was a couple of things that took place. I know Donald Trump, he mentioned yesterday that he has chosen Dr. Stephen Moran, uh, the current chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, to serve in the just vacated seat on the Federal Reserve Board until January 31st, 2026. So he stated that Stephen has a PhD in economics from Harvard University and served with distinction in his first administration. Um, so that's that, right? So we'll see if that has any impact on the market today. Tesla is facing a lawsuit, and I thought I had that pulled up. Let me pull that back up. By the shareholders. I mentioned this yesterday, so still keeping an eye out on this. Uh, if we take a look at the stock, let me pull this up here. We take a look at the stock yesterday. Get rid of some of this stuff. All right, so hopefully everyone on TikTok can see this clearly. But if we take a look at the stock yesterday, the way it performed, now this is Thursday, and off to the left over here is Wednesday. So an aggressive push on Wednesday, and then after that, we just pretty much consolidated for the better part of the post market, pre market, and then coming into yesterday. Not too much activity, although we did have a nice push at the latter part of the day. This was around 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. So nice push before the close of the session, and but not too much activity from yesterday's high. Right, we did make a new high before the close of the session, but that was in the latter part of the day, and so I took a couple of trades for Tesla and one AMD trade. So I want to go over that briefly. If you all have any questions, just drop them in the live chat and I will answer them. LJ, what's up? All right, cool. So 2000, almost two, just shy of $2,000 yesterday. Just shy of $2,000 yesterday. 19. Well, let me pull up my journal. Oh, and by the way, I made a mistake on what I said yesterday when I made 5,000, a little over 5,000 on Tesla. Actually, the true number is 11,000. So I took 93 trades so far this year, 2025, beginning the latter part of April. So $11,000. I felt weird about that afterwards, so I looked into this a little bit later. Um, so yeah, I actually made over $11,000 trading Tesla. So this is my primary target as always. As I mentioned before, a couple of trades with other tech stocks: Lilly, Palantir, Spy, Netflix, Hood, Hims, AMD, Apple, SMCI, CRWV, QQQ, Nvidia, Microsoft. So lost a little over 3 grand for Microsoft, 3 trades there. Nvidia, slowly making my way back to the black, and QQQ, same thing. CRWV, just $99, the loss there. So yeah, I love Tesla, man, because the way it moves, it's just like yesterday. So 3 trades. So let me pull that up. Let me pull up Tesla here. So I took 3 trades, 3 Tesla trades yesterday, and 1 AMD trade. So let me go over each one of these. So this one, let me zoom in. Hopefully you all can see this clearly. So this one here, I bought 13 contracts for this position. Each contract was $225. Um, the total position cost, right, for the 13 contracts was 2.9K, 2.9K. And I ended up making 3.3K, right? 3.3K. And it took me less than 24 minutes to do so. All right. So the total after fees, it was actually like $400, but after fees from Thinkorswim, have to take they cut, right? 358, 358. Now remember I guess I should mention this as well. Remember, my goal is to make between 300 to 500 trade, 300 to 500 per trade, right? Each trade. And the reason for that, I talked about this, is because, did I pull this up? Yeah, here. All right. So typically within a year, there's 252 trading days. All right. 252 trading days. And if you were to make $300 a day for those 252 days, that would equate to 75,000, a little over 75K. $400 a day, that will equate to over 100K. $500 a day, obviously 126K, right? Now, there's 101 trading days left in 2025. So if I were to make, let me just pull up the calculator really quick. If I was to make 300 each trade for the 101 days left in this in 2025, I can expect to earn 30,300. Now, put that in perspective of what you see here on my P&L. My current P&L is 11, almost 11.5. Let's see, zero trading says try 50K a month, buddy. 50K a month. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're being funny or sarcastic, or like if you're serious. Let me know what you intended by that comment. So Um, the key here is, let me share. I'm gonna explain this very quickly, right? So if you look at my current P&L of 11.4K, right? Um, if I make an additional 30,000 plus this, that would equal 40,000, a little over 40,000 for this year. And then I'm going to explain my psychology about my process, right? My thought process. Now, you could have the money, the means, the budget to um, to trade larger positions, um, as I do, right? So, like I mentioned before, to those of you who are completely new to this live, I've mentioned before that I could take the same trades that Scarface is taking. It's just my personal preference not to, because I prefer to master this strategy first and make sure that I'm doing it consistently. Now, typically, and this is from my mentor. This is from Scarface personally. He says his thought process is that he believes it will take a new trader at least 3 years to, really become, get the strategy down packed and become, successful at trading, right? He said even if you take his, sign up for his accelerator um, uh, program, or his, lifetime mentorship program, which is more extensive in terms of the mentoring. He said even then, you could cut it down to maybe 2 years, maybe 1.5 years, but it's going to take some time, right? Now, I've been day trading since the latter part of April this year. All right, I've been day trading for the latter part of April. So this is not a gamble for me. I'm not looking to just throw money in the marketplace. I'm seeing the trends, and I could be up, like, 50,000 to $100,000 right now. But if I was taking larger positions, if, obviously keeping in mind my current my current win rate, right? So if you look at the wins, I have 81 wins, 56 losses, almost a 60% win rate. So if I was taking larger positions, then yeah, that P&L would be a lot higher, right? But that's not my goal. Is to just jump in, and just because I have the money, to just jump in and start putting that money um, on the line or risking it. That's not my goal personally. Okay, so if you see, as you all continue to watch future lives, if you notice, obviously this might fluctuate a bit. But if we get to the end of the year and you see this reach 40K or higher, then you know that I've achieved my goal. If you see me, if it's still around this, if it's around this amount, by the time the end of the year closes, then yeah, I'm not doing so great, right? So you can that's why I'm 1000% transparent, so everyone can see. I'm taking you behind the veil of day trading, so you can see the wins, the losses, everything. Okay, I'm sharing everything so that you can see the real, because I don't know why there's so many traders out there that they only focus on, the wins. Like every time they win, they'll post it, they'll talk about that, but they never talk about when they lost. Their losses, what happened, how could they avoid it? What did they do wrong? What did they do correctly? All of that. Now, for me, you can see, look at my journal. Yeah, I'm on a win streak. So my last live post, or my last post, they were all wins because I'm on a win streak right now. But I'm not always going to win every single trade. So there will be fluctuation in my trades. So with that said, if you continue to lock in or tap in with me, you're going to get the full 1000% transparency. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So I'm not really sure what the gentleman meant by that. But Joe, what's up, Joe? Let me see. You said, what trades are you getting into today? This week, actually, I think I might be done for this week. I might be done for this week, Joe. Here's why. take a look at my my calendar. Seven win streak, seven green trades in a row so far, and this is the first week of August, right? 3 days I've traded. Tuesday I didn't trade anything. Monday I made $118, right, after fees. Uh, Wednesday I made $444 after fees, and then yesterday I made 1900, right, almost $2,000. 4 trades, all successful this week. 7 green trades in a row. So I think I'm just going to chill today. What I do have in mind is I do have one trailing AMD contract. I'm going to talk about that too. So just bear with me in just a second. I'm going to talk about that trailing contract that I have and how much it has grown in value since yesterday. This is the AMD. I bought 10 contracts. I left one trailing. All right. So I'm going to talk about that today. Actually, Joe, I'm looking to enter into a swing trade. If I hold on, did I open up my brokerage account? Let me open up my Thinkorswim brokerage account really quick. I want to show you all something. So what I decided to do was, let me log in. Hold on. Let me log in. And then I'll finish talking about the trade. All right. So I created a couple of I created a couple of accounts with Thinkorswim. All right, so I can separate my activity. So right now, if I go to this account here, I'm looking to take a swing trade for AMD. I could talk about that a little bit later, as far as what I'm seeing, why I decided to take this trade. But this is the swing trade I'm looking to step into today, Joe. It's a swing trade. And remember, for those of you who were on my live yesterday, I talked about trading with. I talked about the distinction between trading or practicing with paper money versus trading with your real money. And hopefully I'm not missing anyone's questions. If I miss any of you all's question, can you just repost it in the live chat and I'll go ahead and answer it right now. Thank you all for the likes. Thank you all for the follows. I appreciate all the love. I love y'all. So I talked about the distinction between practicing with paper money and then your real money, right? I talked about the emotions that, from my own personal experience, there is a clear distinction between those two. You don't feel it as much because emotionally you're not connected to that paper money, right? There's no stakes. There's no stakes. There's no risk involved. So you don't really care. You may not really care. I didn't really feel connected to those paper trades. But when I'm live trading, then all those emotions start to stir up, right? And surface. They start to bubble to the surface. And we're talking about fear, fear of loss, right? Because you don't want to lose any money. I don't want to lose even a penny, right? But that's the name of the game. It does come with risk when you put the money out there. But what I talked about yesterday was key. And I'll just quickly restate what I said. And what I said yesterday was you want to identify an amount that you can be emotionally detached from, right? And or feel emotionless about, right? So whether that's $50, $100, $200, whatever that is, select that amount, practice paper trading with that amount. So then when you transition to practice or live trading with your real money, then there will be no type of emotion, right? You will still be trading with a clear mindset, and you'll just be focusing on the trade or the setup and the strategy and the behavior of the stock that you've decided to trade, and that's it. And that's it. That's what I'm doing, right? I've been watching Tesla for over a year. I'm not guessing when I trade Tesla. Just keep that in mind. I just showed you in my journal how many times I've traded Tesla just since the latter part of April. and this year, and 93 trades, and I've made over 11,000. So like I've been watching Tesla 1 year prior to the point where I began trading it. So I'm really familiar with Tesla. And I really like trading it because I know and I feel confident that I can make money trading Tesla. It just moves different from all the other companies. I haven't been trading a lot, so I can't really give you insight on how the many other companies work. But man, there's something about Tesla, the way it moves. I just love it. I love it, and really addicted to trading Tesla. But anyway, so keep that in mind. Have your own predetermined goals, and I'm going to cap this point, cap or end my point with this final statement here. There's so many strategies that you all could choose. If you're new to day trading stock options, there's so many strategies that you could choose from. You'll hear people left and right saying, "Oh, use these indicators, use this strategy, it's the best." But really, what you're going to have to do is decide for yourself what strategy you like. And there's a strategy out there that fits your personality, right? So just find a mentor that you respect. Find a mentor that you respect, check them out, do your due diligence, and obviously they're going to have a strategy that they recommend, and then try that strategy and stick with it for a while. And by a while, I mean like 1 year. Right? Don't just change up strategies every single week or every single month. It's not going to work that way. And you're going to have people say, use these indicators. There's a ton of indicators that you could use. I don't use these indicators. I don't use any of those indicators, all right, for the strategy that I've chosen, which is the break and retest strategy. I don't use any of them, okay? And they're not necessary. And I'm making money. I've been profitable, and I've been consistent at being profitable. So, and I want to take, for those of you who are tapping into my live, I want to help demystify, declutter, you know, the perception of day trading, right? Because many people have the perception that it's too complicated, it's too much to learn, and it really isn't, right? So I just want to use simple language to explain what I'm doing from my own personal experience. So I just ask that you continue to just tap into each live, and I'll be happy to guide you and answer any questions that you all may have. Ashley says, what platform is good for day trading? So, Ashley, that's a good question, right? So, what you want to do is identify a good charting tool. Many traders like to use TradingView. It's a free tool to use. You don't even have to create an account to start following along or watching your favorite stock that you want to begin trading, right? So you can use that's TradingView. You can simply go to tradingview.com, and you don't even have to create an account. Now, you can create an account, and it's free to do so. All right, it's free to do so. Now, to enter trades, right? To enter a trade, then you'll need a brokerage. You'll need a brokerage, and that's you could. There's several to choose from, and you could choose any of them. Um, Now, each of them have their own unique features. Many of them have the same common features across all of them, right? But some may have features that are not available in other brokerage platforms. So some of the popular ones are Thinkorswim. I use Thinkorswim. You can use Robinhood. You can use Webull. You can use IBKR. And you'll hear that people have complaints about like Robinhood or Webull or so forth, maybe even Thinkorswim. But Thinkorswim has worked well for me. So I would say, if you're looking for one to try out, start with Thinkorswim. Yeah, so let me get back. Feel free to continue dropping your questions in the live chat, and I'll periodically pause to answer you all's questions. Now, let me get back to these trades. All right, so I took Tesla, the one Tesla contract. So, like I said, the total position size was 2,300. Made $400 on that minus fees, 358. And then the next Tesla trade was 10 contracts. Each contract was $287. Can you all see this on TikTok? Hopefully you can see this clearly on TikTok. So Tesla, 10 contracts. Each contract cost $287. All right, 287. The total position size for those 10 contracts was 2.8K, 2,800. And then I ended up uh, exiting the position at 3.5K. So a little over $700 after fees, minus fees, $651. Look at my return. Look at my return rates for yesterday, man. This is crazy. I appreciate you, LJ. And yeah, look at my return rates, man. Let me show you this trade here. One contract, because my goal is to help people see that you can make money just with one contract. Okay, just with one contract. All right, you do not have to buy multiple contracts. The goal is to start growing your money so you can eventually buy multiple contracts like I'm doing. But look at this one contract that I bought for Tesla. This is Tesla, $212. The entry total, $212. How much did I make? I made 200 bucks. You see that? I exited at 415. Okay. 95% return. Now let me show you where I entered on this trade. Let me show you where I entered. I'm gonna pull up the chart in Trading View. So I entered this trade at 1:50 p.m. 1:50 p.m. Now I'm already in, right? I already took 2 trades prior to this trade. And like I said, the setups just kept presenting themselves. So I took them, right? Case closed. The setups kept presenting themselves. So I took them, right? So I took 3 Tesla trades and 1 AMD trade. Now let me show you this trade. 1:50 p.m. This is Central, 1:50 p.m. Central. If you're on Eastern, this is 2:50. This is 2:50. All right. So let me pull up the Tesla chart. Now let's go to 150. Let me zoom in. Let me know if you all can't see this, if I need to zoom in even further. All right, so here is 150 right here. 150. I'm on the 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame. 1:50 p.m. was when I got into this trade. If I draw a line, let me just draw a line here. 150. So right here, hopefully you all can see this clearly. 150 is when I got in. Made $200. Look at the move. Look at this trend. I made $200. I could have stayed in that contract, but I was like, listen, I made 95% return. I'm done. Tesla could drop overnight, in the post market. It did a little bit. It dropped a little bit after it, reached as high as, what was this? 322. So it went as high as 322.82 in the post, dropped to 319. And where it's sitting at currently in the pre-market is 321. So it's still below the high from yesterday, but it looks like we're making our way back up. All right. But I didn't want to chance it. So I opened up a separate account. This is what I was showing you guys in my Thinkorswim. I opened up a different account to track my swing trades. So I want to track those separately from my day trades. All right. I want to track those separately from my day trades. So this account, and you can see I'm being transparent about what's in this account. I'm starting this account with $1,000, $1,000. So you'll be able to see by the time the year closes how much money I either gained or lost with this particular account. Now, I showed you in my journal that if I grow, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. For this one, if I make 30 more thousand, that'll take this to, 100K, right? That'll take this particular account to 100K. I got several different brokerage accounts and they're doing different things, right? All right. So being managed by this company or so forth and so on, right? So this is what I use to day trade. Okay. So you see at the end of the year, I make 40. If I reach that goal that I talked about, right? 11,000, 11.5. If I make another 30,000 with 101 days left in this trading year, then 40,000, I'll be, 100K. So if I don't do that, if I'm still hovering around 11.4K, then something's wrong, right? I'm not doing something correctly. Okay. I'm doing something terribly wrong, right? So thank you all for the likes. Thank you all for the follows. I appreciate it. Um, so yeah, so with this trade, I made 95% return on the investment, man. That's 95%, 95% return on my investment. So, I mean, what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? This is just one contract, one Tesla contract. So I bought three. Obviously, I entered three different positions, as you can see. And with Tesla alone, what, 7, 13, 1,500, right? $1,500 with just trading Tesla. And then, oh, sorry. That's wrong. This is AMD. Sorry. This is AMD. That's 700. This is AMD. So a little over $1,000 trading Tesla yesterday. A little over 1,000. All right, trading Tesla. So 358, 201, 651. So a little over 1,000 trading Tesla yesterday, right? AMD made 753. Let's talk about this one because I have one trailing contract left for AMD. Oscar says, and I apologize if I'm missing any of you all's questions, right? Just keep posting them in the live chat. I'm trying to pause periodically after I finish my point so I could answer you all's questions. What is the best time to do a day trade on the clock? Yeah, so if you're Central Time, that's 8:30 to 10, 8:30 to 10 a.m. If you're Eastern, that's 9:30 to 11, 9:30 to 11, right? That's the best time for the strategy because listen, there's a caveat to that, all right, Oscar. It depends on your strategy. The strategy I use is the break and retest, and that requires speed and momentum, all right? And so that's when that occurs in the morning time within that time frame. There's a lot of speed and momentum, and your stock will move without even a lot of volume. Like Tesla can move, $5, $10 with only 4 million people. So yeah, it's that's why I love Tesla, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love Tesla. So anyway, good question, Oscar. If you have questions and you posted it earlier and I missed it, feel free to, can you please repost it in the live chat so I don't have to scroll all the way up to try to find it. If you have questions, just let me know right now. Let me just pause 30 seconds and see if you guys have any other questions. Andrew says, what site is that where you log your trades and gains for the calendar month? Yeah, good question, Andrew. This is Stunk Journal. Stunk Journal. Let me type it in. So I'm going to type it in the answer for you, Andrew. Stunk Journal. This is a free journal, by the way. If I can spell this correctly. Journal.com. Oh, Stunk Journal. There we go. All right. So stunkjournal.com. That is the free journal, that tool that you can use to log your trades. And if you have any issues, right, you need me to walk you through, provide you a step-by-step guide or video walkthrough, I could do that as well. So just DM me and let me know. T-Man says, how long do you trade per day? Man, I'm in and out. Just my nickname is Mr. In and Out. All right. I'm not trying to be in any trade for too long. Look at the trade duration on my journal. Okay, let me zoom in so you all can see this clearly. Look at some of these trades. Can you all see this on TikTok clearly? Hopefully you can. 16 minutes, 41 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 24 minutes, 16 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours. Now, keep in mind that 6 hours because I had that one trailing contract. This trade was done 30 minutes, within 20 to 30 minutes. All right. So if you see like hours, an hour long, that means I was leaving a trailing contract. Right. So my trades are typically done within like 15, 20 minutes, right? Maybe 30 on average. If I just scroll through, you'll see like I'm in and out. I'm in and out. I don't play. Because Tesla, it doesn't take a long time. Like I said, Tesla, you can be done like quickly. Let's see. Frank says, can you go over chart analysis on your trades? Yeah, I do. I try to do that every pre-market prep. So I'm going to do that with these trades as I go over these trades, right? So good question. Good question. Any more before I proceed? Do you trade options? Yeah, Frank, that's what I trade every single day. I trade stock options. I do have a separate brokerage account that trades Forex. All right. So I use AI bots to trade Forex. It's currently making me like $300 per month. So it's not doing too bad. $300 per month. So it's moving slowly, about 3.5% per month, which is like $300 a month so far. I have 10K in that account. 10K in that account. All right. So yeah. So let me finish talking about this AMD trade. All right. And if you all want me to, slow down, if you need me to slow down and talk about something specifically, just let me know. I don't plan on trading today, so I have time. I'm not in a rush. The market opens at 8:30, so in another hour. I was going to pop over to Forex Factory so we could take a look at scheduled news that dropped at 7:30. So we can do that here in a bit. What's up, Island Child Creations? Appreciate everyone. Glad you all are here. All right, so if you need the recap, if you need this replay, let me know. All you have to do is DM me. I'll send you a link to all that you'll have access to all the past replays plus future replays in one folder. All right, so if you want the replay for today's live session, all you have to do is DM me. You do not have to like or follow. I will not require you to do anything. All right, I won't ask for any money. If someone pretends to be me and they're asking for money, it's not me. All right, run. All right, because I don't need it. But yeah, just DM me if you want the replay or any replay from any live session. All right. So let's talk about this AMD trade. As I said, I bought 10 contracts of AMD. Let me scroll up to the right one. Let me zoom in so you all can see this. This is the AMD trade. Do you see? Hopefully, can you all see this clearly on TikTok? Hopefully, you can see this clearly. All right. I bought 10 contracts. Each contract only costs $231. LJ says you can see. Okay, cool. Great. $231. All right. The position size, the total cost of the position, right, for those 10 contracts, it's 231 times 10, right? So that's 2.3K. I'm showing you the per contract cost because that way you can see you don't have to buy 10 contracts if you don't have the budget for it right now. Start with the one contract. All right. So you can buy just one contract for $231. Now, what did I make? Look at this. $3,000 so far. And I still have one contract trailing. So let me quickly talk about this. All right. So 2,300 is now I made $3,000. So $700 plus, right? Look at the return rate, 32%. Remember, I talked about, for those of you who've already been following me, you already know my return percentage goal is only 3 to 7%. And I talked about this. I said, it's likely you're going to make way more than that, but you should start with the goal. All right. Because as soon as you see that goal and you reach it, when you enter a trade, get out. All right. Get out. Lock in your profit and rinse and repeat. Do the same thing the next trade, whether it's the next day or next week or next month. Lock in your profit, stick to your strategy. All right. Don't deviate because it's so easy. I've done this. All right. I'm just speaking from personal experience. This doesn't mean that you will do the same thing. I'm just speaking from personal experience. When I see the money starts to grow, right, especially when it happens quickly, all right, like that first minute, if you bought one $200 contract and you see it jump to $500, you're probably going to start thinking, you might start thinking to yourself, well, maybe it's going to grow to 700, but then the stock quickly reverses on you and take the money that it gave you, right? So that's why I'm suggesting see profit, take profit. All right, so getting back to this AMD trade. Over $700 so far, right? 16 minutes. 16 minutes. Now, I have one contract left. I sold 9. Okay, I scaled out of this position. This is how I scaled out of the position, right? So you can see this, right? Bought 10 at 8:50 a.m. Sold 6 at 8:56, so 6 minutes later. And then another one a couple of seconds later, right? But you can't see that here because they don't log the seconds. So one was 6 was at 278, and then one was at 279. So you can see that there was a slight difference. Thank you all for the likes and the follows. I appreciate that. So then this is the trailing contract that I still have running, right? I still have this running. So look, let's jump over to the chart so I can show you this. Let's pull up AMD. I'm on tradingview.com for any of you who are looking to follow along. Tradingview.com. AMD is the ticker name. AMD, it's a semiconductor. It's the one of the chip makers that, creates the chips, the microchips that powers our devices, right? Like NVIDIA and so forth, Intel and so on. AMD, I'm on the 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame. Okay. This means that every candle on this particular time frame is 60 seconds in duration. All right. And same is true for the higher time frames. All right. So I'm on the 1 minute time frame. I'm going to zoom over to yesterday. Remember, I got into this trade at 8:50 a.m. So let's move over to 8:50 a.m. Let me zoom in. Hopefully you all can see this clearly on TikTok. Let me know if you're having trouble seeing anything clearly, and I can try to zoom in some more. So I'm going to go to the 8:50 candle. So that's this candle here. T-Man says, any thoughts on Mode Mobile? I don't know who that is, T-Man. I don't know what company that is. The only company that I primarily focus on is Tesla. But if you want me to take a look at it, take a peek at it, I can. But I only trade if it's a company within, if it's a tech stock, I only really trade like the Mag 7. All right. So the tech stock, semiconductors, and these are companies within the S&P 500. So if that's a company within the S&P 500, then it's probably a good stock. And if you want me to take a peek at it, T-Man, I can do that a little bit later, right after, I talk about this trade. So just let me know, T-Man, if you want to go over that. So I got in at 8:50. That's this candle right here. Let me draw a little line here. 8:50 to mark out the bottom of this candle. So hopefully you all can see that. Okay. Now let me zoom out so we can see. Oh, you're welcome, T-Man. Let me draw. Actually, let me add another line so this is a little bit clearer. Okay, so that should be better. Now look at this stock. So let me note the price. The price where I entered the trade was $169.56. $169.56. And it rose to a high of 175.70. All right, that's a $6 move. This one contract, that one contract, remember, we bought it down here. That $6 move caused that one contract to grow in value $450. $450. Now, I left it running, and you see there was a pullback. I'm going to talk about this because this is what you want to look out for, right? I want to talk about this pullback. Now, there was a pullback. This is expected, right? After you have a nice aggressive push, especially at the open, right? We had this nice aggressive push right at the open, man. That was crazy. And we had this pullback, right? So sellers was like, okay, there was many people taking profit. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. Expect that. So after this pullback, I was like, okay, we dropped from that one contract dropped from $450 to as low as $50, right? So I'm still in the green. Remember, what did I pay for this contract? $231, right? $231 per contract. I bought 10 of them. I have the one contract still running, right? So it grew to $450 in value and dropped all the way down to $50. So that's 450 plus the 231, right? So the $50 that I'm up now, well, excuse me. Hold on. Let me rewind just a little bit. Let me rewind just a little bit. It was up 450 from 231. It dropped all the way down to $50, right? At that pullback level. At this point here, okay? At this point here. It slowly started to make its way back up again. Chanel, what's up, Chanel? You said, what website is this? What website are you using? So this current, what's in frame right now, what's in view right now, this is TradingView, tradingview.com. Tradingview.com. Let me type it in. Tradingview.com. This is a free website. You can follow along without even creating an account. Tradingview.com. I just typed that in the chat. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the follows. Tradingview.com. So it's a free site. And you can create your account as well. It's free to do so. They do have paid options. It's just, different features, right? So you get real-time data and stuff like that. You can add multiple layouts and so on. But yeah, you're welcome, Chanel. So yeah, so it dropped to as low as $50, right? So that's 50 plus 231. So I'm still up. I'm still in the green. So why? Why am I talking about this? Because position is critical, right? Your entries are critical. Where you enter the trade is going to determine how long you can stay in that particular position. Okay. Oh snap! My browser is freezing. Hold on. Let me reset